I'm host Eric, host of Talking Famous People and Eric's Myers-Briggs personality type videos, which this will be one of. I'm going to devote this video once again to a response to Ejarendee, and it's a twofold response. In the first part of the response, it's going to talk about what he's doing very well and what he's being very smart about. And in the second part of the response, it's going to address kind of what he said in his one video. And the third kind of response is going to give him some advice about how to address this, how to exercise his anti-ENTP thing more effectively, okay? Because the only person who can possibly give him any advice on how to deal with this is an ENTP. So, I'm just saying, because who else is going to be able to tell you how to deal with an ENTP but an ENTP? It's the same true of any other personality type, right? So it's true of all of them. He would be able to tell me best how to deal with ESTP. Alright, so ENTP. The problem, okay, first of all, so let's go follow my brother. What is he doing right? Well, he's poking at the right group. You know what I'm saying? He is exercising manipulation very much to his own benefit. So he's got me making videos about him. He's not making videos about me, right? So, you know, he's absolutely succeeding on that vector. However, number two, he's succeeding on another vector too, which is he's got a shitload of views. I never realized this before. I didn't really look at the numbers very carefully, I guess, or think about it much. You know, it's like gradually if I come to care about analytics and think about this thing as some sort of project that's beyond just saving shit for my own purposes. I started to understand how YouTube works, basically, and I realized where the potential revenue sources and or attention gathering sources are, right? Like where those possibilities lie. So anyhow, now one of the things that I like about seeing what he's doing is it helps me to have a launching point for whatever thinking I do on the topic. So what he's doing is first of all, he stays very thematically consistent. He puts up a lot of Myers-Briggs stuff. For the first time today, this is how stupid the ENTP can be as well, right? For the first time today, ever, I actually looked at the search terms that are used when I get search traffic. You'd think that would be kind of something important to look at before. I don't know. I guess I wasn't thinking right there or something. Not that I wasn't thinking right. That's not how I meant it. I wasn't thinking right there. You know, like, I wasn't thinking on that subplane. I was just thinking about, well, it doesn't matter exactly what it is. I'm sure that's the thing, it was an assumption. I assumed, I never looked into the search terms. I assumed it would be a fairly even splay of random shit. Cause I tag shit out so randomly. But since I started putting Myers-Briggs videos up, I noted that those got a lot more traffic. And so today I finally got to look at the search terms. And of course, number one is ENTP. So that's the search term that gets me traffic. And in fact, all the search terms that get me traffic are, at least in the last 28 days, are Myers-Briggs terms. They're not, I'm not getting traffic from search or anything else. So that is very useful information. Now I'm thinking to myself, okay, so Ejarendee, the reason he's got all these videos up about ENTP and blah, 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 is that's what's getting him the traffic, right? Getting him a lot of traffic. People search that stuff all the time. And he's established for himself a high high place in the results on those topics, because probably, and here's the thing, nobody knows exactly what YouTube's algorithm is. Even YouTube probably doesn't know exactly what their algorithm is, because that's the way code works. It's like there's so many, it's so modular that the code interacts with other modules in ways that are sometimes unexpected and aren't planned, and add a level of complexity to the whole thing that makes it difficult to really understand how your final product works. If your final product is a big software thing like YouTube, where it's just got this massive amount of bandwidth going in and out, and it's got this extremely rigorous content management system that is just like a beast, It's a really well designed website. Anyway, what am I talking about? Oh yeah, Ejarendee. So he puts up a lot of these Myers-Briggs videos, and he gets quite a bit of traffic. I don't know how much money he's making off of it, because I can tell you, I have a good number now. I know that to make 10 cents, you need 10,000 views. So it's basically a penny per 1,000 views. I have 10,000 views, I have 10 cents. I'm going to just assume that that's standard, right? That it's going to be the same for every 10,000. It may not, but it seems a fair assumption to make. So, if I have 100,000 views, I will get $1. Now, in order to get rich at this rate, okay, 1,000,000 views gets me $10. 10 million views gets me $100. This is total views on all my videos combined, right? 1 million views gets me $100. 100 million views gets me $1,000. 1 billion views gets me $10,000. 10 billion views gets me $100,000. Alright, so I can make a good living on YouTube if I can just get 10 billion views a year. That's all I need. I need 10 billion views per year, and I will make a good living at YouTube. The funny thing is, I think that's possible. Because of the long tail nature of the thing, right? I want to try to get to 10,000 videos as quickly as possible. I have 10,000 videos on YouTube. I want to get 100,000 videos on YouTube. Is that possible? Can I put 100,000 videos on YouTube? And if I put 100,000 videos on YouTube, I could probably get 10 billion views a year. That's what I'm thinking. Because look, the vast majority of my 10,000 views have been in the last, I don't know, few months, 6 months or something. Okay? Because it wasn't until like about 6 months ago that I got a little bit more, I guess you'd say, hairy about it, like actually tagging stuff and thinking about whether or not my titles are going to attract traffic or not. Prior to which I just didn't care. Right? That wasn't the point of the project, right? The point of the project was more archival than anything else originally, until I realized that I much more enjoyed putting up new videos than old stuff. You know what the key moment for me was for my full embrace of YouTube and my current and I suspect forever habit of putting up videos. This one's not going away. This particular project of mine, talking with famous people, it's not going anywhere. This is my project for the rest of my life. I'm absolutely certain of it. Why? Because it has no parameters other than whatever I put up has to be in videos. That's the only parameter. Could it just be music with a blank picture? Sure. Could it be me talking? Sure. Could it just be a series of still images, maybe with some unobtrusive music underneath it? Absolutely. I plan to do that. Can I just put up archival shit? Yeah, that's why I have an archive component. But I wanted to do all this. Yeah, I know, Eric, but this thing's already set up beautifully. Just use it like this. This is perfect. This is perfect. Just everything we want to do. Are you sure? I'm sure. I'm ready to marry you, YouTube. I already got your YouTube bread for $10 a month. Now, but here's the problem that complicates this whole equation. What about YouTube Red? I mean, it didn't take me long to buy it, and I bet it's not going to take, it's $10 a month, I bet it's not going to take a lot of other people to buy it, and that makes your viewing experience ad-free. Great, I love ad-free viewing. It's beautiful, it's wonderful, I love YouTube even more now. But is that going to mean that everybody who pays YouTube now doesn't get to watch any ads and now I get paid nothing? And if that's the case, it's okay with me. I'm fine with that. I mean, I am not doing this for the purposes of making money. I'm just saying that's one of the success criteria of this game, so I want to succeed on that vector as well, you know? You're a silly Lexus, don't crash into the big rig. You're a silly Lexus, if you do, you will become a big fig. What the fuck is wrong with you? Why are you driving like you have a lobotomy? Oh, I see, it's because you have a lobotomy. I can see the stitching on your head where they took out part of your brain. Alright, now, what else was I saying? What was I talking about? Oh yeah, Ejarendee. I got around to the end of that part. This is the most ENTP video ever. Okay. Oh, one thing I did on YouTube, I started putting, because I looked at the search term, I started putting ENTO as a tag, because that's one of the search terms that got picked up, because I accidentally put ENTO instead of ENTP in one of their tags, and it got search results. So now I have gone through my Myers-Briggs videos and added ENTO. So Ejarendee, I am learning from you, and I appreciate you being a resource of information. Now I'm going to help you as well by teaching you. So let's talk about your video, the clever video. Okay, so in this video, if you haven't seen it, then it has Ejarendee has a nice beginning to it, in which he says, the ENTP has the following. Sometimes the ENTP is clever, but on other occasions he's clever, and on another occasion he's clever, like that, you know. So he's very clever, Ejarendee. And nothing clever about my obvious comment there, right? Weak sauce on my part. Here's the thing. What happens sometimes, and I don't think it's just Ejarendee, I think people in general sometimes want to diminish the ENTP based on the fact that they can cope with things better than most people can cope with things. So the fact that we're generally cheerful and playful and enjoy bantering and stuff like that, and do enjoy being clever and like making jokes and stuff like that, is an asset for sure, but it's something that the opponent of the ENTP can grasp hold of and say, this is who this person is, and thereby successfully reduce that person to something less than the person is, of course. I get it. It's this fun game we play on the internet. But here's the problem with that fun game. The problem with it is, well, I was supposed to go left or right. I can't remember. God damn it! I'm gonna have to stop this video to figure it out. Nordstrom's, huh? I don't see it. Must be on the other side of the freeway. Well, I'll go a little further. Okay. Oh, right. Ejarendee. Alright. So, good job with the reduction of stuff. It was a good strategy. And I mean, I think there are some ENTPs out there who, the younger ones, I guess, who might be like, hey, feel stung by that or something, I guess. I think it's quite possible there are. And so I wanted to give you props for it, right? Like, that's pretty good. That's a good strategy of attack. Here's where, here's where you run into trouble. It falls apart in the slightest scrutiny. As I've indicated, ENTPs are people who have a richness of experience that stems from a great deal of suffering. We do not have an easy life, right? So when you do suffer a lot and you experience what it means to be on the wrong end of somebody who's not kind, or somebody who takes advantage of a mistake, because we make mistakes sometimes, and sometimes people take full advantage of it and slam us, and because we're so goddamn deserving, right? I made a huge mistake with Heidi Priebe. You know who that chick is? Yeah, I was like going through this divorce, almost getting divorced. I mean, what I mean by that is, I was struggling to hold on to a marriage that I ought not to have been struggling to hold on to. And my wife and I were going through a lot of like counseling stuff, and we shortly, within a month or so of this occurring, I thought, and the other thing is, I anticipated that the day that I made this mistake, I thought the next day was going to be, next morning was going to be an appointment with the marriage counselor, which would result in the official dissolution of my marriage. It ended up being pushed back a couple months from there, but that's not the point. That's the mental state I was in at the time, right? So, obviously, I guess I wasn't thinking straight, and I was being douchey and displaying a lot, and I asked her, after doing all that shit, I both like made myself attacky and vulnerable, and then in the same post, or like the same comment, or the same next comment or something, in the same time frame, right there, I asked her to be a guest on Talking with Famous People, and she fucking just annihilated me. Basically, successfully linked me to a predator by saying, you're doing that thing where guys insult a girl a little bit, and then they try to get her to go out with them or something like that, you know, which is not what I was doing, but it was an excellent attack, right? It was a really, really effective attack, and I had not been slammed by that like that ever. I don't think ever, but I can't remember ever getting slammed like that before. So publicly too, just publicly humiliated. Boom, bam, bam, slap you down, Eric. Shut the fuck up. That rocked me, dude. It rocked me for like weeks, I'd say even. But now it's become a great. And I knew immediately what I had to do with it. I knew it was going to take a while too. I had to talk it out until it became an asset, and it did eventually. So that's the thing, Ejarendee. We're not that easy to get rid of. We're not that easy to dismiss. All right. We love deeply. We hurt deeply, like anybody else. And unlike most people, we deal with it with a lot of really clever, funny jokes. Now, that ain't a bad thing. So, fuck you, Ejarendee.